it's a bit erratic these days. We're going through a change, and sometimes you'll get bumped a little bit along the way, but this is just a sign to knock you back on your path. Now we can create our own reality based on our energy, of course, because everything is energy. And where you focus your attention on, you will attract that energy. So let's talk a little bit about energy over the past 3 years, for example. Even if I look back to 5 years ago when I first read Power versus the Force, and I started to get really into energy and started to read about it and started to think, well, okay, if I work on myself internally, I can raise my energy. So I had to do it every day, because there were all sorts of energies trying to bring me down, whether it was work, whether it was people I was hanging around with. And I found that I was at my most peaceful when I was alone, and I was protecting my energy. So when I was alone, of course, I was working on it, giving myself energy through breath work, giving myself energy through meditation, giving myself energy through the Qi. So Tai Chi, Qi Gong, bringing energy into my body. Now it's very difficult for you to give yourself energy if you have energies that are trapped. Now the trapped energy can come from the physical body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, and the mental body. Now if you're blocked in any of these categories, 4 categories, then the energy isn't going to flow. And there's going to be lots of tension and blockages. You just think of a good flowing river. So when the river flows, everything goes. But if there's a little block, it's got to meander its way around that blockage. And sometimes that's where the energy gets trapped. And there are ways that you test and you unclear this blocked energy. And the answer is always inside you. So you ask yourself 4 questions. But I'll not share that, because when we learn, we can share with people who, when they are ready. Now I measure people with where the vibration is by using this pendulum. So if I was to say that if this was BS, now look at my top hand and look at my bottom hand. So when I release, if it moves towards the camera, I'm telling the truth. If it moves back, then I'm talking bullshit. So, can I measure people's vibration? Yes, it's going forward. Did I manifest this power? Yes. Can I measure your vibration if you are willing? Yes. So here is it. It's not going backwards, it's going forwards. We can all do this, but we have to take our power back. Now, if you think what's went into your body in the past 3.5 years, it's fear from the media, possibly taking some form of medication that is not serving your purpose in your body, and hanging around with people who are sucking your energy, who want your energy, who continually suck it on a daily basis. Power versus the force. So the force narrative is shame, guilt, anger, fear, doubt, worry, desire, pride. 8. Then you step into your power, the courage. Then you go acceptance, willingness, love, joy, and unconditional love, joy, and enlightenment, right? So these are some of the levels of consciousness. I might have missed some out, but I will, on my article tomorrow, I will write a little bit more about these levels of consciousness. Now, if you are taking any form of medication, and not, I haven't tested this, but there are people who have been doing it longer than I have. So they have a form of like scalar technology who they can measure vibrations of medicine. There is no pharmaceutical medicine above 125. Now fear is 100. Anger is 125. See how it works? So you can be trapped in that. Now, looking at the other side of the coin, no, we're not looking at the other side of the coin, we're looking at the lower scales. What are low scale frequencies? Shame, worry, doubt. Yeah. Alcohol is 10. So you're 10 points away from death. So why do you think that sometimes after a night out and then you're alone, you wake up the next day and you've got all these thoughts, or even when you're in your bed, you've got thoughts? I have had 4 friends kill themselves after a night out because they've put that doubt in their head. It's okay having a drink, but 3, 4, it affects you mentally. And don't tell me or sit there and say to me, but, I've been there. I've done it. But since my daughter was born in 2013, I gave up alcohol because that didn't serve my purpose. Why would I want to call up my friends and go, hey, oh, how bad was I last night? Or what did I do last night? Oh, I was so embarrassed. Yeah, but you do it all the time. Does that conversation sound familiar? That's what alcohol does. That's why it's a low vibrational frequency. Couple it with gambling, couple it with porn, or whatever your addiction is, drugs, then you're on a slippery slope because you've got more things to take out of your backpack. Now let's come into your power. When do you step into your power? Well, after 3.5 years of sitting, waiting for the government to say it's time to, it's all clear, it's all go. It's not all go. Why is there 2,500 excess deaths a day in the UK alone? So what's changed in the past 2.5 years? Now, the longer you wait, the less chance you have. Now, at not one stage of this so-called pandemic did the people who chose not to take the foreign bodies going into your body, we didn't wish death on you. Now we're at the stage now where just because of your beliefs and your truths and where you were, you've accepted that. So are you going to come out of your like the force narrative and come into the power? Because once you come into your power, is everything, every attention you put every goal, every monthly goal you set, you get better and better and better. And I don't attract that type of energy. I have people walking up to me and looking at me and like they don't want to talk to me. And then I listen to the conversation, I understand why. So we are very powerful. And it's the system that takes your power from you. So you have a choice. You can either take back your power, or you can continually be told what to do, where to go, when to do it, and sit there and say, oh, I wish this was over. I wish it would go back to normal. Let me tell you a little secret. It's not going to go back to normal. Because there are people who are standing and have stood in their truth for the past 3.5 years. And I'm no different to you. But I chose a different path. And that's why my head and my ability to create and manifest my future, I know I'm on the right path. So you can choose to step out and move away from your blockages in your lower chakras, like the men, which is give them some beer, give them some entertainment, give them some porn, give them some gambling, and they're happy. And of course, couple off with, after your night out in the tiles, you go and have a greasy kebab. And you put junk food in, and then junk food comes out. I don't sit around listening to people like this anymore. I've stepped away from that. And as I said, I'm fucking glad I did it. I'm glad I stood in my truth. Because slowly, everything will come out. And when it does, then we're going to be in for a shock. Well, some of us are. And yeah, it's not going to be pretty, guys. So, long-winded one today. Friday, new moon, new beginning, and some new ideas. That was paraphrased from a friend of mine who I believe that the divine feminine and the divine masculine will be getting together and creating some content, invitations to come into a space to find your truth, for help you to step into your courage and escape the chains of the system that you've been trapped in, and your family's been trapped in, and your generations and generations have been trapped in. But without going too further and deep, the answer is inside you. And if you have any self-doubt, go for a walk, sit in nature, and just listen. Listen to this. Listen to the birds. Are they stressed? Listen to nature. You'll get the answers there. Okay, 14 minutes, so that's long enough. Okay, guys, remember, please like, subscribe, share, and the content is going to get better and better and better towards the end of the month as everyone slowly raises their consciousness. So take care, have a good weekend. I'll see you tomorrow.